When I started thinking on art, I was about 12 years old, and it was with my father. My father was a shoemaker, and all the Wednesday afternoons I went to his workroom, and I helped him with the work. And when the work was over, he let me play with the leftovers, and I would make some collage out of them. So I think that was the first time I started to do art and think on art, and I really miss the workroom of my father. I haven't went there because he got sick and now he can't work, but I have some collages. I have some few collages still, I remember. The thing is going far away, just walking, seeing the people, having like really long trips, reading a nice book. And after I do that, every morning I come to the studio and just start writing. I just start drawing, and then I'll just put some good music, had some beers, and really just go with the motion of the day. And this is how it works, It's every day the work that you do, it will bring you always to some sort of idea. And I think that kind of movement really shows in my work. You can see the trips that I'm doing every day. You can see the stories, and that really interests me to tell stories, but not in a literal way. But it's important to me that the people really knows what I'm doing, I really like the view. It's really like chaotic, I think like Mexico City is really chaotic, but that's what I like, because I think it's like an energy that also inspires me to work, So it's about talking to people and understanding the process that it needs to getting the work done. Most of my work, I work with people, I do collaborations, and it's really important for me to get to know the other part, to get to know the part where the people is, and the part where they do love their job, and they do what they do. The other part that I like, it's when I go outside, I like to buy little stuff from people, and each day they remember me as the guy that bought the weirdest thing of them, and that's how every day I get to know more people, and because I think that's really important, the abstraction that I do, in the geometry that I work, it has to do also with that movement of people and the movement of the streets, Ay, yo no. So, the thing is that when you discover that part of the movement, of the objects, of the people, you start to see a rhythm in things, and that rhythm leads you to some sort of plasticity. And that plasticity, you can find it in objects, you can find it in parties, you can find it everywhere. So the important thing about it is the choosing part about, I want people to see this thing, I want people to feel that thing, you know. That's the part where it changes that movement, it changes the rhythm, and you have the choice to do it in the other way, to put it in that way, in the way you want, you know. And for me that's the special thing of being an artist. The artist has the choice to do to make people see things, to make people feel things the way you want them to do. So that's the part of being an artist, no? So it depends on how the spectator sees it, and they can feel with it. But it is always a simple gesture that can make visible a more complex structure. And that's what I like in my work. I see simple gestures that can reveal something way much bigger, you know. For example, in my piece Moles, I made it in 2005, and you know, the same thing, I was in the market. I always bring my camera with me because I don't know what I can find. You know, city always gives you surprises. It always do. And in the plasticity of those moles, I saw the structure of the city. I saw the structure of an utopia, you know, of an utopian city. So for me, Militares Jugando is one of my favorite pieces I've made in the past 10 years. Because it shows that potential moment of dissenso and of politics, and how it's so it can rip apart in 1 second, you know, with just one look. With just one look you give, it decomposes. It's almost a destruction of that hardness, of that hostility. And it's funny because many people will think that there's no peace in here, but I think you get used to these sounds and it almost recreates the rhythm that I'm talking about. And that's the piece that I found sometimes. I found that rhythm in these like aleatoric events that are always happening in daily life, and I like it. I like how it's going.